Hello guys, welcome to part 2 of my blue ModPack demonstration video. Part 2 will consist of actual gameplay footage to showcase how my ModPack affects actual gameplay. So as you can see from that loading screen, the current version 1.0 of the ModPack uses XVM version 5.1.0. And this version of XVM incorporates the newer Win8 rating. So if you press tab here, you see from left to right, you have number of battles and kilobattles. The middle column is percentile for Win8, and the innermost column is overall win rate. Now I plan to edit these columns and possibly add one more in the future, but for now this basic setup I think does the job. You can also see I have custom colored cap circles. I find that especially on the winter maps it's almost impossible to see the cap circle where it ends and where it begins, so I've changed the colors to a dark blue. I found that this works extremely well on just about every single map that I can find. You'll also notice straight off the bat that I have a lot of custom colorizations. Most of the colors that you see on the screen at normal times is going to be blue. I've changed some of the basic engine, the game engine colors, so my team is a light cyan blue. The enemy team is a lighter shade of purple. All platoon mates, both on the minimap and in first-person view, are going to be a dark pink. And don't worry, it's easily distinguishable from the purple of the enemy team. And all team killers are shown in green. And you'll see the alternate view here. You have overall win percent on the top, the name and clan on the middle, and the percent or the health and percentage on the bottom. Again, I plan to fine-tune that and edit it in the future, but for now, that basic layout works. You'll also see the crosshair that I'm using is a pretty familiar one. It is a modified version of Jimbo's crosshair. Basically, it's taken out a bunch of clutter, and it's changed the colors to blue and orange. Blue for the main overall primary color, and orange for the secondary color. So when I shoot, the circle goes to orange, and as I reload, it turns to blue when the reticle is completely blue. I'll be loaded again. You'll see on the right side of the crosshair it'll give my tank's health and percentage. On the left it shows my load status as ready. When I'm reloading, it has a countdown timer from the amount of time that it takes to reload. And that 5.65 seconds is not correct. So after I shoot, it should be there we go. So 13.24 seconds normal reload time. And you see that right above it counting down to 0. So now I'm loaded. And on the bottom of the crosshair you see how many shells I have remaining for the shell type selected. Now if you look at the minimap in the bottom right corner, you might notice, if you have a good eye, that the minimaps are HD, high definition. I find that this does two things from the vanilla game. Number one, it makes seeing small details on the map, like small buildings, small topography, a lot easier to see and differentiate. And number two, and more importantly for me, I think it really helps the custom blue and purple tank icons stand out. Since the colors are a little bit softer than the vanilla green and red, the minimap needs to be a little bit less busy. Now if you look at the bottom center of the screen, you'll see my ammo and equipment panel, or consumable panel. You'll see that those are custom as well, and I've got the custom icons working down there. In addition, the background for all of those boxes are the same shade of blue that I use for my teammates. And if I use a item such as number 5, my large repair kit, it will shade the box with a light blue, and the icon itself will turn darker. And I think that makes it pretty clear that the item has been used and cannot be used again. You'll see that I have 3 types of ammunition here: standard AP, which is number 1, APCR number 2, and HE number 3. When I select a different ammo type, the box that's selected for the next shot will turn to orange. And if I actively reload, the box will slowly fill with a light blue shade until it gets completely loaded, then it will flash when it's ready. And for the HE shells, since I'm carrying none, that shell type is blacked out. And at first it might look like a bug, but that's actually intentional, and once you get used to it, it's a pretty nice function to have. So I'll finish explaining the rest of my GUI in the next battle. One thing I couldn't show in my garage in part 1 that I'll show here is the custom messages that I have set up. So I have some colored messages here, a green background for victory and a red background for defeats. It'll give you the vehicle you played, the date and time, which is normal, the experience you made in blue, and the credits you made in yellow. Now down here it will give you a total log of your entire session. So I've played 5 battles since I've been logged in. I won 4 of them, so I have an 80% win rate so far. I've made 8650 total XP, averaging 1371 per game. So the left column here is averages, and the right column is net gain, or excuse me, net total. And you have total credit gain here at the bottom. Average win 6 rating here. This will eventually be changed to win 8 when I edit it, and that's an easy thing to do. I just need to find the time to do it. And then average efficiency right here. And there are quite a bit of these online that you can find, but I find that almost all of them are giving way too much information than is reasonably needed. I think the majority of them just put everything possible on the screen, but I find myself not really using more than half of what's on there usually. So I just got the bare bones basics here. Everything that's important, everything that's not important is not listed here. That being said, this module here is extremely editable, so if you guys want to add anything yourselves, or if there's enough people that want me to add something to it, that's more than possible. It's very easy for me to do that. And also on my XVM config I have chance to win here, but I only have it on the after battle report. I do not have it before game or during game because it just makes me depressed. So I only have it on the after battle section. So I'll go ahead and get into another game here. And I'll finish going through the user interface that I've got. Now you can see my XVM mod is completely up to date. It's the latest version that's out right now. And same for the clan icons. Those are up to date. Now I'll just very briefly finish going over what I haven't gone over yet on the HUD. and that's basically the bottom left. And if you look at the bottom left, you'll see the damage panel. It is pretty close to a vanilla damage panel, but I have changed the health bar and the speed to the same shade of blue that everything else is, so it fits a little bit nicely. And this damage panel down here is completely functional. If you have a damaged module, you can click on the module down here and it will fix it just like the vanilla game, so that's completely functional. I've encountered a couple damage panels that lost functionality with some of the custom coding that mod users tended to put in, so don't worry about that with this one. You can also see off to the distance here that I have custom boundary colors. I find that I wanted a different color for two reasons. Number one, I think that the blue is easier to see than the red, and number two, I think it just looks better. And obviously, like you saw in the first battle, the cap circles are custom colored as well, and they're about the same color as the boundaries, the custom boundaries. Now, something interesting about the boundaries that I use, when you get close to them, they turn the same color of blue as the cap circles, but the further away you get, they turn more to the shade of purple, and I find that's kind of neat. Oh boy, I'm gonna get destroyed here. You can also see my damage indicator here pop up, and it's the same shade of blue as everything else, so it fits nicely. And it's an extremely accurate damage indicator, and it stays around for a long enough time. Now, to be honest, I purposely went out and derped here. I wanted to not make this video last too much longer. I only had one other thing to really show, and that is the hits received next to the damage panel down here in the bottom left. You can see incoming hits, what time they occurred in the battle, and how much damage they did to me. And it also converts the damage done to a percentage of my total health. And this will be edited with time. I've got a couple of things in mind to change and make that better, but again, it's good enough for right now. And the very last thing is the XVM last hit points section right here. What this does, for those of you who don't know, is it shows the last known hit points of enemy tanks that have entered your draw range, so within 500 meters of your tank. And I find that's pretty useful. Occasionally it will be incorrect, because a tank will have left your draw range and taken extra damage or additional damage, but for the most part, it's extremely reliable. And I believe that's about it. Before I end the video, I should probably mention that the idea behind this mod is to, number one, first and foremost, be aesthetically pleasing. I figure that the main point of mods in this game, since all the server calculations are done on the server, the whole point of mods is to change the look of the game. So first and foremost, I want it to look good, and I've worked hard to do that, to get the shades and colors right, get everything toned and balanced correctly to where it's pleasing to the eye. There are one or two types of color blindness where the blue and purple will not be good for you, so if you're colorblind and you have that certain type of color blindness that you can't see the difference between the blue and purple I'm using, I apologize, but for most people who are colorblind, I think this would be better than the vanilla game. I'm not colorblind, I just tend to like these shades of colors. And also the second idea behind this mod is minimalism. I want it to be as minimalist as possible. You know, I don't like a whole bunch of clutter and junk and flashing lights on the screen. I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen several mod packs that are just filled with exciting, obnoxious garbage that clutters up the screen to where you can't see anything. And I like to be able to focus on what I'm doing, so the only thing in the middle of the screen is that crosshair, that Jimbo's crosshair, and it's bare bones. So yeah, there's not a whole bunch of clutter. That being said, I am willing to add a couple mods if people have enough interest in them, or if they're suggested enough. But, you know, if you want to suggest anything, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be adding it or taking note of it. You know, I gotta stick to the general principles of the mod, or the mod pack rather. And the last thing is to keep in mind that this is still a work in progress. This is only the first version, the first iteration of this mod pack. There's a lot of work to be done, and between my school schedule and my duties with my clan and World of Tanks, some weeks it's going to be pretty tough for me to find time to work on it. But I am a knowledgeable programmer. I am going for a computer science major in college, so I know how to do this stuff. I just have to find the time to actually get it done. So any suggestions that you have for the mod, I will definitely be eager to read. Any criticisms that you have, I'm even more eager to read, as long as they're constructive. Anything to help make the mod pack better is always nice for me. And if you guys, you know, just check out the other videos on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of interesting gameplay footage on there, and I'll have updates to my mod pack posted on there as well. So, as always, if you have comments or questions, leave them on my YouTube channel in the comment section below, or you can find a thread that this mod pack will be posted in on the World of Tanks forums and post your comments there. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the mod pack.